My name is John Salat. I call myself a certified transformational leader, and I call it transformational healer. We're all healing and transforming ourselves, and my definition of transformation is just being with change, being with what's so. I teach Tai Chi and Qigong and Reiki and meditation and energy dance classes, and everything is based on energy. And I look at energy as a way to connect, like just a marker point for ourselves, and we follow that marker, right? So we can keep the continuity of our connection. What's nice about that is once we have a tracking system, we have a way to kind of relate to the world that is less out of fear or concern or worry. And I have students come to me, my Tai Chi class are just so overwhelmed, say, oh, I had a rough day, I got to talk to you. So I always say, well, do you mind if we can hold that conversation towards the hour after we're done with the class? And I get their permission, they say, fine. So I come back into class, and so how are you doing? He says, I don't have anything to share, like there isn't anything there anymore. I work at 2 clinics. I work at a pain clinic center with people who have chronic pain more than a year. So I interface with physical therapists and psychologists and doctors. And then also I work at a place where our mental counseling. So I was able to use not just the kinesthetics work, but semantics, but also working with energy medicine, which is really wonderful. How I got into this work has an interesting arc. And it wasn't really a good experience for me. You know how we kind of say, oh, that was a terrible moment, like we have an association of that, but I never look at it as a gift, right? So I was 18 years old. This is what happened. I was 18 years old. My mother had, Dr. Kemp says, your mom's going to die. We'll give her most 5 years. She has cancer. I was the youngest in the family, so of course I was trying to be composed and, not be the baby. And so I did everything in my will to look good. And then my father and my sibling, they all had mental breakdowns, literally just fell apart. The whole family just crumbled. I'm trying to stand on my 2 feet, 18 years old, and I was pretty scared. And so being with that fear and being with all of that, I also felt very hopeless because I watched my mother for 5 years. She did pass away after 4.5 years. And we come from a society where genetics is everything. Like, you look at you have any history of cancers, any history of mental health, and so, I feel like, God, I'm screwed, but at the same time, I just couldn't stand for that because I would just live my life in fear. So I was really looking at attitudinal healing, like who I'm being, what am I saying to myself, what am I creating? And I began to play on all that, saying, well, instead of like hiding out, why don't I just go ahead and use this work? And so I just started working with energy medicine, and I started taking intensive courses. I've been to China. I went to like 12 sacred temples, but everything was about energy. The language of energy. I was so interested in human expression and energy. Like depression, we can kind of like clinically lock ourselves and say, I come resigned to life and use that word. Also, we can say, I'm just feeling sad. And just show up would feel like I'm feeling sad, right? So it's like being more of an energy connection of it rather than saying, oh, something's broken and I can't fix it. So how I go through distinctions in my life is really important about how I frame it. What I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be holding one finger out and I'm going to be touching a part of the body that you feel pain. I'll ask you what number 0 to 10, and then I'll spend about maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Is that number 3 pain or?
I'll give it a 3 or 4.
3, 4. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, no, I can still feel you. I can still feel you in there. That sounds awful, but I mean, I feel what you put in there. That's what I feel right now. I don't feel that dull ache.
Okay, I'm just going to lift the arm here from. I'm just going to change the energy flow through her arm and a connection to her shoulder. It needs a different angle of working the energy here. And just kind of let your arm just sort of flop. Let it relax. There we go. All right. All right. So what pain is it number when you push down on it like that?
Maybe right now it's a 3.
3, okay. Okay. And see how that feels right now.
You're magic. No, true. I mean, I don't even feel that, that pain.
Oh, very good. Thank you all so much for being here. All right. Bye-bye, guys.